right. Hello, you are probably watching this video because you are absent today or you need a refresher on the steps that you should take to stay caught up if you are absent. So I'm going to walk through what those steps are, show you some examples of the types of things that you can do to stay caught up at home. So your first stop when you are absent is to come to my learning page. We've talked about that. And then you're going to find the calendar and you're going to click on the day that you're absent. So let's imagine that it's October 14th. You click on that date. And it should take you to, assuming the link is there, if not you can email me and ask me, but it should take you to the slide that will be on the screen when you walk into the classroom if you were there that day. You're going to maybe glance over that and see, some stuff, maybe what the homework is, if there's something important to do for the warm-up. But the most important slide to look at first is this next one that walks you through what our goals are for the day. So if I'm absent today, I'm going to assume, today we're learning about topic sentences. We're going to practice writing them. I'm going to maybe, hopefully, if I have my ISN at home, ideally I might have some notes taped in there that I might be able to fill out by clicking through the next few slides. So I can kind of scan this slide for the information of what class will be like that day. So I see we're going to take some notes. We're going to practice writing some topic sentences. So if I can do that from home, I'm going to do that from home. So as I click through the slides, I'm going to read through. I'm going to do my best to learn everything that was covered in class. Now there might be some stuff that, without the explanation from class might be more difficult to understand. But again, you do your best. That's all I ever ask of you, is to do the best that you can and learn what you can. So here's a definition. We're going to look through, this is the prompt. We talked about that, last week, so I remember that. Click through, read through all the slides, right? Okay, I'm seeing there's some ingredients to topic sentences. Maybe there's some examples. You'll take more time, obviously, to click through all of these. I'm assuming maybe there's some stuff on these that I could fill out into my notes. If I look at my notes in my ISN, I can take those steps and make sure that I fill out any blanks that might be in there. I can look through examples of topic sentences, all that kind of stuff, right? This looks like some practice. I did see on the warm-up slide that I needed a whiteboard marker, so I'm guessing this was maybe something we did in class that required whiteboards. So maybe I can just practice this in my ISN, make sure I know what I'm doing, all that sort of stuff. And then eventually you get to this, we're going to write our topic sentence today. We see what, the examples are, all that sort of stuff. And then we get to the steps for the day. Here's what we did in class. If there's stuff on here that I can do at home, I'm going to do it, right? So it says write your topic sentence on your outline. If I've got my outline, I'm going to try it, right? It says to check in, so I'm not going to be able to do that, but I can probably do that, on the next day. Maybe once I write my email to Mr. Graham, I'll put that in the email. And then it says topic sentence practice homework on Google Classroom. So maybe then I'll go to Google Classroom, I'll find that assignment, I'll take a look at it, I'll see if I can, figure out what it's asking me to do and do my very best, right? So that's all the stuff that I can do before I even write an email to Mr. Graham, right? So your first step is not write an email to your teacher and say, what did we do in class today? Your first step is to try and figure out what did we do in class today, to try and do as much of that as you possibly can, and then go to write that email, right? So then once I'm done and I finished everything that I need to do, then I can write this email that says, okay, I've got a sore throat, I stayed home. Here's what I did, right? I checked your learning page. I saw we were learning about topic sentences. I did my best to fill out the notes in my ISN. I completed the homework on Google Classroom. I can say something like, well, I'm not confident I did everything right, so can we check in when I get back to school, right? Something like that. And then ask, is there anything else that I need to do to stay caught up today? Because maybe there was something we covered that wasn't in the slides. Maybe something happened in class where we changed directions a little bit or we adjusted some things or whatever, right? So this email is what we want to send. If we're sending an email that says, I'm sick, what do I do? Well, that's an indication we haven't done our best, right? We haven't taken the time to try and go through and figure out what is there, that I can do on my own. Can I try some of this, my very best, right? And you might do everything wrong, and that is totally okay, right? Because by showing that you're trying to do your best, you're earning yourself that credit. And I can write back that email and say, hey, you know what? I looked at your homework. I noticed there were a couple of mistakes. Let's do check in, but thank you so much for trying. Thanks for, putting forth that effort. You're building trust and all that kind of stuff, right? So those are your basic steps any day that you are absent. The one thing I will say is sometimes, you know, if we're sick and I'm so sick that I'm throwing up and I can't even, like, all I need to do is sleep all day, that's a different story, right? So that might be a different email that I'm sending just to say, like, you know what, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that. Remember that the policy, school policy, is that for every day you're absent, you have that many days to make it up. So if I'm gone one day, I can come back to school and then have a day to make up all that work. I will still have to keep up on the work that, you know, is current as well. So it means I'm going to have to work a little harder to stay caught up. But sometimes that's, you know, that happens, and we might be involved in activities where we don't have time to do the work. We might be so sick that we can't do the work. But ideally, the best situation is if you're staying at home and it's just one of those, like, I got a tickle in my throat or a cough or something where, like, I can still focus, I can still concentrate, I can still try. These are the steps you need to do. So as always, if you have questions, you can email me. But hopefully this video helps you know what steps you need to take to stay caught up when you are out. Come back soon.